Advice from a honeybee. Create a buzz, sip the sweetest moments in life, mind your own beeswax, work together, always return back to your roots, stay close to your honey, and most importantly, always be yourself. There is inspiration all around us if only we are open to it. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about a honeybee today, our guest in the spotlight segment today is as sweet as a honey and is always buzzing with energy like a bee. He is probably one of the youngest Salesforce developer group leaders around the world and also a very successful Salesforce developer and a project lead at cloud-based systems. Let's welcome Sesha to Talkies. Hey Sesha.
Hi Kiran. Thanks for the opportunity.
How are you? How is life?
I'm doing good. Life is too good.
Oh, absolutely. So Sesha, you have a very inspirational story to share. You're one of the most energetic people I've seen in the community recently as well. You've done lots of stuff for the community in the last 2 years. You've also been a student group leader as well. Yeah, talk to us a little about your background, your parents, and your family as well.
Sure, Kiran. Yeah. So Sesha is very buzzing. He is very active in the community. But Sesha is not this Sesha. A few years ago, or most of the years ago, I came from a very small background. I studied I did my up to 12th graduation in a small town called Jagaipet. So in the local schools and local college, I studied there. And there the exposure.
Hey, by the way, we both are from the same state.
Yeah, we both are from Andhra Pradesh. Absolutely.
Cool.
So yeah, at that time there is no exposure. Currently I'm getting in the city of Vijayawada and my current location Bangalore. So, but I used to be not a good student as well, where I used to get very less marks. So less means zeros, ones, and twos out of 25 marks or 50 marks. So that,
I know that you had all those binary digits with you in your exam, zeros
yeah.
and ones, is it?
So I'm a binary kid at the age of maybe at the schooling. So it's a huge achievement for me, if I cross 5 marks or 10 marks, even though that's not the pass mark.
No wonder your father used to give you chocolates for getting
Yes,
5.
he used to give me
Poor
chocolates
guy.
when I cross 5 so that, I can take it as inspiration and, cross 10 marks and sport pass the exam. That's his efforts, but I'm sorry, Daddy, I didn't got trapped your chocolates. I'm still the binary kid. No, I was the binary kid, not.
Okay. Now tell me this. How did this, poor student who was not really good at studies actually become really good at, academics?
So I think when I was in 7th or 8th grade, then, some sort of maturity levels are, inculcating in my brain. And I'm seeing, around my family, we are not financially good. My father, is not a good earner. But he is helping me to read, study, and have food and have clothes properly. But he used to take dates also to make sure I am being good and our family is happy and prosperous. But then at that time I came to know, okay, somewhere we are not in a good position and I'm the only kid. So I should be taking the responsibility and only my studies will help me to go forward and make our family financially independent. So from then that mindset has been developed and the curiosity also is there in my mind and from there I started studying and from this binary kid I became somewhere 90% student. In my 10th grade I got 93%. In plus 2 grade I got somewhere 88%. So that's how I evolved myself.
Wow. I'll tell you something. Maybe one of the reasons why you're so successful today is maybe you didn't study books, but you studied life.
Absolutely.
Is it?
My father is the living example.
Right. I can totally see that. So tell me this story of yours or your journey to being a student group leader for Salesforce in your college. How did that happen? Where did you get these leadership qualities from all of a sudden? I knew that you were into sports and all, but we would love to know your
Yeah.
journey there.
So as you mentioned, I was in sports and I played, district cricket while I was somewhere in my 14s and 16s. I played for under 14 and 16. And also I was, a school leader when I was in 10th standard, and I also, I lead my intermediate school. So basically, plus one and plus two, we in Andhra Pradesh we call it as intermediate. And later, maybe from the childhood, by seeing my father, he's into politics, he showcases leadership qualities. So he's my living example. So I saw him, he gives the political slogans, used to be very active. He take the mic and, he rocked the stage at those days. And he's a kind of inspiration to me. And maybe I learned my leadership lessons from him just by seeing him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wonderful, wonderful.
absolutely.
No, those are the small impressions you get as a youngster, right? You watch your father or you watch your elder brother doing some great stuff, and these things actually stay in your mind. And probably that is one of the things that have happened with you. But in your college,
Mhm.
what kind of a role did your professors and your dean play? I know that they definitely did help you.
Absolutely. So, to start with my story of my college, how I got introduced to Salesforce, Vishwa Vikas Daga, a Salesforce,
Mhm.
APAC manager for dev relations.
Oh yeah, he's from my team. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. So he came to a college for a program called Salesforce CTS. So in that program,
Mhm.
Salesforce and CTS partnered and giving training to some of the universities in the
Cognizant,
country.
is it?
Yes, it's Cognizant. And
Okay.
yeah, they gave training to I guess 10 university across the country, India. So we are the one of the university being part of that initiative. And from then I started my journey in Salesforce from the day, I guess it's 29 January 2019. It's been almost 3 years. So I'm there in the Salesforce ecosystem. So in that period, I used to study a lot. I used to bunk classes to learn Salesforce. So I used to bunk classes, go to library.
Wow.
In library, we do have a
Such a sincere,
yeah.
such a sincere student you were. Instead of going to
I,
movies, you went to
I don't know.
Salesforce.
Somewhere I got
See where
mad
you
on
are
this
today.
trailhead, and whenever I earn badges, I used to get excited and seeing myself, gaining some knowledge on a daily basis instead of sitting in the classes, listening to the regular, classes. So people used to think, hey, he's a mad guy. Why he is doing all these things? Bunking the classes. His percentage of attendance is going down. But there comes the placements, college placements, and in that placement, I literally cracked each and every interview I have attended. I got nine placements by the end of my fourth year, and four from the college placements, and five from the LinkedIn. Some of the recruiters approached me just for the sake of giving interview I gave, but I ended up getting offer letters from them. But yeah, so this Salesforce helped this binary kid and this college student who is even in college I'm not that great. I was just above average student, but but this Salesforce
Mhm.
helped me to get one of the highest packages in my entire university. So that's a very proud moment for me. And
No, see, being at the right place at the right time is very important, Sesha. And I think that is what you have done in case of Salesforce, right? But tell me this: how did you convince another 800 students? Right, I know that you've enabled another 800 students in your college to learn Salesforce, and I think that around 200 of them cleared Salesforce certifications. How did that happen, and what kind of support you got from your college?
absolutely. So these placements plays a major role, to be honest. Not only me at that time, from our peers, 10 plus people got certified in Salesforce, and each and every person placed in a very high package job, and they're in a very, one of the best companies in the world. Top 500 companies, Forbes listed companies. So they got placed in very good companies, and even our management recognizes, okay, something is there in Salesforce. They use it to see Salesforce as a one of the global certification which will help your, leverage your resume, just one liner in your resume.
Right.
But from then they think about, okay, this is not a certification, this is something a career path.
It's not just a certification, it is a career path which can give you a great career.
Absolutely. So then they realized it, and
Yep.
then I collaborated with three people. I can say these three people are my pillars of my career, to be honest. One is my placement dean, NBV Prasad sir, and my head of the Department of Computer Science, Harikaran Vege sir, and my placement coordinator, Praveen Krishna sir. So these three people backed me up, and they gave me license. Okay, Sesha, you are in final year. So in final year, since we are a university, private university, we have a leverage even not to attend classes. So they just told me, why don't you give sessions to our students, your peers of fourth years? Why don't you give sessions to juniors like third years and second years? So I took up the responsibility because taking responsibility is one I'm passionate about, and yeah, there I am, and my entire fourth year goes with the training to second year college students, third year college students, and it's 800 plus students I train for a different sections, 100 people in one section, another 100 in another section. So that's how, I gave this training for almost 8 months or 9 months in my final year. And then,
I can bravely say that you are one of those very important people in India who have taken Salesforce, penetrated it into the college system, and you are a true multiplier in that sense. So, Sesha, tell me this. Um, you are a hardcore developer. What is that one or two developer tips that you want to give to the audience today?
absolutely, Kiran. So whenever I sit with my junior developers, whenever a developer come into the ecosystem or in my current organization,
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely make sure these two tips should be go to them so that they can implement whatever the project or whatever the product they are currently handling.
Mm-hmm.
And first and foremost, and very important is make sure when to code and when not to. If a
Absolutely.
requirement is possible by point and click,
Mm-hmm.
then let the admin take care of it.
Okay.
So that's the one tip I'll give it to them. And another tip which I always tell to every developer is
Mm-hmm.
always do the bulkification of the code.
Okay.
As we know, data is unpredictable at multiple levels. A chunk of data come into the system
Mm-hmm.
or inputted into the system. Even if it is necessary or not, we need to bulkify the code
Mm-hmm.
so that it will not hit a snag whenever a huge amount of data is residing in the system.
Absolutely.
So these two tips I would like.
No, thank you so much for the tips. And in fact, as a Salesforce developer, knowing when to and when not to write code is very important. I think that responsibility as a developer in Salesforce ecosystem, you definitely have. Thank you so much for the tip, Sesha. So, you've been in the Trailblazer community, uh, and tell me, a couple of reasons why you love this community and why have you stayed with this. I know you're super active.
Absolutely.
And tell me, Sesha, how many sessions did you conduct in the pandemic? Were they 31?
Oh yeah, up to now it's 31, where I did sessions in multiple initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
So with collaboration with other groups also, it's currently 31
Mm-hmm.
from the past 1.5 year.
1.5
Yeah.
year. What were some of those initiatives? I know there was demystifying the cloud.
Yes. Yes. So
Uh,
I'll come from start. We did a initiative meet the leaders.
okay.
So where the community leaders come there and share their experiences, their Salesforce journey.
Mm-hmm.
And in the peak pandemic stage, we did something called SFDC Virtual Learners, where students out there who is not having classes, who are in dilemma what to do in this pandemic. We did a sessions called SFDC Virtual Learners. We did development training in those sessions for college students. Not only that, the Salesforce is well known for its suite of products. So we did something called Demystify SF products, and like Commerce Cloud, Tableau CRM, Einstein AI, Experience Cloud, so on and so forth. Pad Marketing Cloud. These sessions from the top-notch speakers we have delivered these sessions. Not only that, people are bit, not able to understand how to give the Salesforce interview. So there are some pro tip sessions which we conducted, how to crack Salesforce interview, how to be, empower yourself in Salesforce ecosystem. And currently we are running hashtag Ask Me Anything sessions where the personalized doubts can be resolved from the top-notch community leaders and
You
MVPs.
have truly led the way during the pandemic. Awesome job on that. Now tell us, why do you like the Trailblazer community and why are you giving so much back?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm there in the community from past 3 years, and the early days of my
Mhm.
community, people do help me a lot. I reach out to people from WhatsApp groups, LinkedIn, and they definitely make sure my doubts got solved. Even though they are busy, they'll take up their time from the weekends. Book the slot for 30 minutes, 1 hour, and they do help me a lot. And that's where I got inspired. Okay, if a person is putting his efforts to help a individual, then I should do the same when I was in a position where I can deliver something to my juniors or to my peers. So that's how I used to get inspiration from the community. And one thing which I would like to mention is it's not about helping a person. Coming from a humble background, if he is helping me, in a way, is helping my entire family, the entire my relatives, and not only that, the entire society will be, in a good position when a single individual gets some help and he build his career. And I can say myself as a best example where my family is completely proud of it. So, Trailblazer community is, something where we take 1x and give 10x. So,
I love that. I was waiting for that line. I was waiting for that line. It is so important you give back because this community is all about helping you in that time of need, and this community is about building those leaders for the future. And we are you're definitely leading that change. Thank you so much, Sesha, for that.
my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Sesha, now tell us what was that interesting project you worked in the last 2 years, and why was it so interesting for you?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you had one.
Absolutely. My first ever project, I was in the day two of my career, I was in a perception, okay, first 1 week or 2 weeks, I won't be having any work or it might be very mild work, right? So, but in the day two of my joining of Cloudbiz, my first organization, and it's still my current organization. So they put me in the pre-sales team where I need to build a entire demo org from scratch. I just have one reference org where I can do the replica or just do reference. So from there, I built an entire org from scratch and developed some of the triggers, Apex classes, and some VF pages. Not only that, data loading, everything. So whatever I learned from the trailhead in my student age, doing some ranger level of badges, that I really got to know. Okay, this is how my trailage knowledge helped me, and now that is resolving some of the business use cases, some of the business problems, and yeah. So with that, maybe 2 to 3 months of journey where I built this entire demo from scratch to a demoable version. So that's I take,
Mhm.
consider it as I learned a lot from nowhere to everything.
you, you learn many things when you don multiple hats,
Absolutely,
because you have to learn everything from the scratch, and that is what you have done. It's very useful.
absolutely.
Awesome. So I know you are from KLU, and I'm pretty sure your friends are out there watching you today. Now, do you have a message for them or for the other students in India?
Yeah. So not only to KLU for the rest of the country, maybe somewhere in the world, people are seeing this. I just tell
Mhm.
Salesforce is a platform. Just hold it, learn, the development, learn the admin, and consider it.
Mhm.
Don't consider it as a certification course or just a global certification. Make sure that
Mhm.
is your career path. It is a career path, and
Absolutely.
multiple careers has been shining in this ecosystem, and you can see it. I'm one
Yeah.
of them.
No, it's thank you so much for that advice. And in fact, this is for all the students in the world. It's not just for people in India. It's for everybody in the world. This is a platform to build your career. Thank you so much, Sesha, for that. And it was a pleasure having you on Dev Talkies today. We've definitely had a wonderful conversation for the last 15 to 20 minutes. We wish you all the best, and we also know that you have played cricket in your childhood and you were really good at it. So we thought you should continue playing that, right? So we are gifting you a cricket kit so that you can play with your friends and your colleagues going forward as well.
Wow, that's awesome, Kiran. Thank you very much. Now it's remind my cricket journey way back. Maybe why don't we conduct
I know.
cricket tournaments for Trailblazer community, community tournament.
I'm in. The onus is on you. Talk to all the other leaders in India. I mean, we'll definitely plan something.
Definitely, Kiran. Yeah, looking forward.